Here's how you actually operate the semi-industrial custom RO system. Firstly, very importantly, when you do the installation, make sure to use a little bit of Vaseline on the end cap seals. And very importantly, when you install the membrane, you'll see on the one side there's a seal that opens up like a V. The open side of the V needs to be facing the direction which the water is coming in. This membrane, it's facing out this way, so you would install the membrane in this direction in the actual housing. Then these two flow meters and valves is probably your most important part, and that basically the whole system is controlled via what you set these flow meters to. So very important is you need some way to keep monitoring your water. Typically we'd use a handheld TDS meter for that. And then the one that comes from the center of the housing is your product water. The one that comes from the side of the housing is your brine or wastewater. So this is the one you could still use it for other things. It would just have more minerals concentrated in it. But this one is then used to flush the actual membrane, whereas this one is just used to go to your product water. Now we'll demonstrate it now, but a good place to start is if you start off with 1 part product water to 2 parts wastewater, and then see what mineral content you get from it. As the membranes get dirty, you will see the mineral content will slowly start to climb. If you're finding this, then you need to run more wastewater. If you find that it's staying low constantly, you can start to adjust it down, so you have lower and lower and lower wastewater for the same product water. A way to improve this would be to add a high pressure pump, but you need to add it between these housings, as they're only rated for 6 bar, and the membrane housing. Ideally you would want to be running at about 10 bar, but for most part it's too expensive and not practical to do at home, but it is an option to increase efficiency on this system. But yeah, let's show you how it actually works to set up the system. Firstly, when you put in a new membrane, what you want to do is you would want to open the wastewater valve all the way to have all the water flushing across the membrane. This will help remove the preservatives that's on the membrane. Then when you want to switch over to actually using the system and running production, you want to throttle down your wastewater valve until you get a ratio of about 1 part product water, 2 parts wastewater. And then have a look at what your mineral content is doing. If it's constantly climbing, then you'd need more wastewater, so you'd need to increase the flow in the waste. This will give you a little bit less product water, but this will give your membrane a longer lifespan. Or if you get seeing the reverse, that the mineral content is extremely low and it's staying extremely low, then you can decrease the wastewater flow, and this will increase your product water. And just keep an eye on it. Just make sure that you don't get that the product water's mineral content starts climbing, because that's an indication that the membrane is starting to clog itself. If over time you find that your mineral content is increasing the whole time, you need to every now and then, maybe once a week, maybe once a day, depending on your water, actually flush the membrane to try and clean off any scale buildup on the membrane itself. If this doesn't work, you can send the membrane into us to have it reconditioned, or it might be time to replace your membrane.